Hello, everybody. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you continue to have a good day or evening. I don't know what time of day you are there or that you're listening, but my I pray that God blesses you. This time, I'm going to be, I've kind of skipped over Judges, and because I want to get to this relationship with Samuel and Eli and well, the vow that Samuel's mother Hannah made and why. So I'm going to be in 1 Samuel chapter 1. And year after year, this man, the husband, went up from his town to worship and sacrifice to the Lord Almighty at Shiloh, where Hophni and Phinehas, the two sons of Eli, were priests of the Lord. Whenever the day came that Elkanah to sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to his wife Peninnah and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he gave a double portion because he loved her. And the Lord had closed her womb. Because the Lord had closed Hannah's womb, her rival kept provoking her in order to irritate her. This went on year after year. Whenever Hannah went up to the house of the Lord, her rival provoked her, which would be Peninnah, and 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 she wept and would not eat. Her husband, Elkanah, I pronounce these wrong all the time, would say to her, Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? Don't I mean more to you than 10 sons? Once, when they were finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now, Eli, the priest, was sitting on his chair by the doorpost of the Lord's house. In her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly. And she made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will even be used on his head. Now, this isn't Samson. Samson was the one who got, but this was a promise that she had made. As she kept praying to the Lord, Eli observed her mouth. Hannah was praying in her heart, and her lips were moving, but her voice was not heard. Eli thought she was drunk and said to her, How long are you going to stay drunk? Not so, my lord, Hannah replied. I am a woman who is deeply troubled. I have not been drinking wine or beer. That's the first time I heard beer mentioned in the Bible, but that it might have been somewhere else. Anyway, I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. All right, she's made this thing with the Lord, and Eli's told her to go in peace. Hold on a sec. Okay, and then so that night they rested and slept, and the next morning they went back home. And in due course, Hannah did become pregnant and gave birth to a son, and she named him Samuel, saying, Because I asked the Lord for him. Now, when her husband Elkanah went up with all his family to offer the annual sacrifice to the Lord and fulfill his vow. Hannah did not go. She said to her husband, "After the boy is weaned, I will take him and present him before the Lord, and he will live there always. Do what seems best to you," her husband Elkanah told her. "Stay here until you have weaned him. Only may the Lord make good his word." So the woman stayed at home and nursed her son until she had weaned him. After he was weaned, she took the boy with her, young as he was, along with a 3-year-old bull, and I don't know what that is. Anyway, an ephah of flour and a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of the Lord at Shiloh. When the bull had been sacrificed, they brought the boy to Eli. So they have taken Samuel to Eli. And she says to him, "Pardon me, my Lord, as surely as you live, I am the woman who stood here beside you praying to the Lord. I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I ask of him. So now I give him to the Lord. For his whole life he will be given over to the Lord." There is a beautiful prayer that Hannah prayed after giving Eli to Samuel. It's a prayer of thanks, of praise. It's a beautiful, beautiful prayer. And I'm kind of coming to the end of my time. I might go ahead and read it. It's so poetic and pretty, and it very much worships. It shows her gratitude. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add it in here. Hi, uh, I use this when I'm talking into the computer. I trimmed the video down quite a bit because it was like over an hour long, and I got it cut down to like 7 minutes. So that gives me some time. And what's wonderful about that is Hannah, after she took Samuel to Eli, she said this beautiful prayer. I'm starting at the beginning of 1 Samuel chapter 2. And this is her prayer. "My heart rejoices in the Lord. In the Lord my horn is lifted high. My mouth boasts over my enemies, for I delight in your deliverance. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Do not keep talking so proudly, or let your mouth speak such arrogance, for the Lord is a God who knows, and by him deeds are weighed. The bows of the warriors are broken, but those who stumbled are armed with strength. Those who were full hire themselves out for food, but those who were hungry are hungry no more. She who was barren has borne 7 children, but she who has had many sons pines away. The Lord brings death and makes alive. He brings down to the grave and raises up. The Lord sends poverty and wealth. He humbles and he exalts. He raises the poor from the dust and lifts the needy from the ash heap. He seats them with princes and has them inherit a throne of honor. For the foundations of earth are the Lord's, on them he has set the world. He will guard the feet of his faithful servants, but the wicked will be silenced in the place of darkness. It is not by strength that one prevails. Those who oppose the Lord will be broken. The Most High will thunder from heaven. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. I felt like that is just such a beautiful and fitting prayer for Hannah because she's been delivered, not only from her tormentor, but she's engulfing everybody in that prayer. So she was a very generous woman, and her one thing was granted, and she honored her promise. So that is about all I have for this one. I hope you enjoyed the painting. I have so much trouble with people in here. I thought I was going to get this one better, and but I could tweak a couple things, and but I'm just going to say good night. I love all of you. Take care of yourselves. Smile and wave. There's yours, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.